Your man, Louie T. Welcome to Washington Football Pregame Wildcard Weekend Edition. Washington will be hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight, 8:15. A lot has transpired since the last time we talked on Friday evening. We knew this was a possibility. We talked about it all week. I told you I didn't think we were going to get a full game out of Alex Smith, but I did want him to start. We still don't know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a game time decision. We'll probably know a little bit sooner than game time. His calf just isn't responding the way they wanted it to. Ron even admitted on Tuesday that they would have loved the extra day. You know, Alex is at a point now of the season where, honestly speaking, I think we've gotten all we're going to get out of that calf in terms of it ever being healthy again this season. Like, he'll never fully be healthy like he was when he first came back against the Rams and the Giants and the Lions and in Cincinnati and things of that nature. We'll never see that Alex again this season, if at all, you know, for the remainder of his career, even if that extends into next year. But the fact that he even got us to this point is remarkable. I thank him for his service. I would love it if Alex, and someone had said something funny the other day, you on your Willis Reed shit, where, you know, I just want him to trot out there, give us a series or two. But again, if he's compromised, what are we doing? Like, what are we talking about here? I see, the only way I wanted him to start this game, and let me clarify something, because some of you think I just wanted Alex to start just because. No. I want Alex to start if I could get the Alex that started against Philadelphia. Meaning, he's healthy enough to go early, and then the calf muscle tightened up as the game progressed. He was outstanding. I put up on IG that opening possession of the game. He was outstanding on that opening possession of the game. And even the drive right before half, he did some really good things. It wasn't until the second half where he threw the two interceptions, you could tell the calf muscle was tightened up. He couldn't move. And we saw that throughout the first half when he took some sacks that he didn't necessarily need to take, or when he left the pocket and just threw the football away when he had open targets down the field. At the end of the day, if he's not healthy, and we all know at this point he's not healthy, and he can't give you anything, then you don't need to play him at all. If he can give you something, then I'm all for starting him in this game. And even if it's just for that superstitious nature that I have, that we've won 5 straight starts with Alex, and even if that means he just needs to start the game and then we get him the hell out of here, I don't mind cold Heine. I already told you. I don't mind taking a couple of sips of cold Heine, man. I got no problems guzzling cold Heine for 3 quarters. So we'll see what happens. It's a fascinating dynamic. I would be lying to you if I told you I wasn't nervous, okay? I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't nervous about the prospects of starting a guy that's got 1 career NFL start in a wild card playoff game. It reminds me too much of the Raiders situation when Derek Carr got injured at the end of that 2016 season, and they had to start Connor Cook in the wild card game, and he was awful, and they got destroyed by the Houston Texans. That's not this. The Raiders defense wasn't our defense, and I can tell you right now, Taylor Heineke is better than Connor Cook. Now, I'll give you my experience with him. I told you I'm an ODU alum. I watched this guy's entire career at ODU. He was there when we made the crossover to the Conference USA. He was playing in games in 2013 when we finally made the switch over to real college football. And I'll take it a step further, This is a guy that I recall one game in particular. This was one of my fondest memories, and we didn't win the game. But, when you're in the CAA, as they were before, and make the switch over to the Conference USA, and you start playing good teams, you start playing Marshall and teams that are more relevant in the college football landscape, and you start playing real Division I schools like NC State, and that's the game that I remember in 2014. It was early in the season. We had won our first game of the season. NC State won their first game, and we traveled to NC State to take on the Wolfpack. And that was the Jacoby Brissett-led NC State. They had Matthew Days at running back. They had Nyheim Hines, who's in Indianapolis with the Colts, who you'll see today. They also had Jalen Samuels on that team, who you'll see today in Pittsburgh or tomorrow night. They had Marquez Valdez-Scantling before he transferred over to South Florida. So that team was loaded. That NC State team was. And We went into NC State, and we took an early lead on those boys. We were up at one point 21-10 in the second quarter. I mean, Taylor was doing his thing on the road at NC State in the Wolf Den. And we ended up having a 21-18 lead at the half. He was playing well. Had a turnover in the third quarter. His only turnover of the game was an interception. NC State scored, I want to say, 17 unanswered in that second quarter. Took a 35-21 lead. We battled back, but we fell short, like something like 46-35 or something like that. 46-34, something like that. Anyway, it was an impressive performance. To go on the road against a good ACC ball club and play the way that he did in that game showed me a lot. And at that point, I thought, why can't this guy get a sniff in the league? Like, I don't think he's anybody's starter, but why can't he get a sniff? And he did get a little sniff in the league. And so what I'm telling you is he won't be fazed by this moment. I've seen Taylor Heinicke in a bunch of spots, and he's just unflappable. He's one of those dudes that's just going to go out. And look, he may make some mistakes. I'm not telling you he's going to come out and blaze it. Some of you guys are oblivious to the fact that he could come out and throw 3 interceptions in this game. Like, it's a big moment. But I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him. I really don't. I think he's going to come out, and he's playing today. Just so you know, like Alex, even if Alex goes to start, Alex is not finishing this game. And I think, I'm hoping that you guys understood that all week as we were talking. The assumption was, and I've kind of alluded to this, but I'm going to just come out and say it now because some of you, I don't know if you actually understood what I was saying. I never expected Alex to start and finish this game. Like, at some point, Taylor Heinicke, I told you Ron got spooked last week by Alex's performance against the Eagles. So at some point, I was expecting some Cole Heine. We may not get Cole Heine. We may get Heine right out of the gate. All right? So we'll see what happens. Alex may not be able to give it. The scary part for me is that Steven Montez is your backup. If anything were to happen to Taylor Heinicke, we're done. I have no confidence in Steven Montez. All right? And some of you trolls out there may be like, Steven Montez is the GOAT and all these. If Steven Montez, who has never played in an NFL game, not a single snap, not even preseason ball, has to come into this game, I don't care how good our defense is playing, we're doomed. We're done. That's the scary part. Not that Taylor Heinicke may have to come into this ball game. I'm perfectly comfortable, and I've told you this since week 16 versus Carolina. I'm perfectly comfortable with Taylor Heinicke having to come in. I was comfortable if he had to play against the Eagles. I'm comfortable today. I expect him to play at some point extensively in this game. That's not my concern. My concern, and I don't know what we're getting, okay? Just for the record, I don't know if he's going to come out and ball, or if he's going to come out and he's going to stink it up, or if he's going to come in and just be average. Whatever the case may be, I'm not concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is something happens to him, and you got to put Steven Montez, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names, into the game. That's when I become very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. I didn't even like Steven Montez at Colorado, let alone in the NFL, where he hasn't taken a single professional snap. That's what's got me concerned. That's why I'm nervous. So we'll see what the hell happens. I just know this much. I'm excited about today. I've already got some of that nervous energy that you get on game day. We don't play till tonight, so that will subside. I'm going to be watching other games. I'm going to be busy all day long. But you know what? I can't wait until, and I don't know if some of you feel this way or you can attest to this or not, but I can't wait until this becomes commonplace. Like, part of the reason I'm so excited is because we don't get this opportunity very often. We don't get to have playoff football, meaningful football in January. So I'm excited because I don't know when we're going to get this again. So I need to relish this. I need to savor this. Take it all in. I can't wait until this isn't a thing. Like, we expect to be here. We're here every year. And we're not excited because this feeling will never go away, by the way. I'll never get tired of playing playoff football. You know, some teams and fan bases, they become jaded because their team wins all the time and they play in playoff games all the time. This will never get old for me. But at the same time, I want this to become commonplace where we're here and we're excited, but we expect to win. We expect to advance. We're expecting bigger things than just happy to be here. You know what I mean? But I'm still excited. Anyhow, I do got a couple super chats. I do want to take those before they go away. VA Money Group. Thank you for the super chat. VA Money Group writes, we re-signed Haskins for the cheap. No, look. At this point, I'm willing to find out what the hell Steven Montez can do rather than go back to Haskins. I don't care if Haskins was willing to come back for free. I'm good. Out with the old, in with the new. Burgundy and Gold fan all day. Thank you for the super chat. Burgundy and fan gold all day that says, this is a good feeling to have to be nervous. Nobody else in our division can say this. Let's go win this. HTTWFT. Absolutely. You know, this is a great feeling to have those butterflies in the pit of your stomach. And, you know, I took some pride yesterday in being able to say, not only are we the only team playing on Saturday or Sunday in Wildcard weekend and playing in these playoffs from the division, but we were the only team in the division to have a representative on the All-Pro team in 2020 as well with Brandon Sheriff. So I took a lot of pride in being able to say Cowboys don't have one, Eagles don't have one, the Giants don't have one. You know, that was awesome. So for whatever it's worth, you know, it's petty, I know, but that's what family members do. We're petty to one another. So felt good to be able to say that. Feels good to know that we're playing and everybody else is watching on the couch, and hopefully we give them a hell of a show, and that show is capped off with a dub, you know. But whatever happens, I've said this a million times. I'm proud of the fellas. I'm looking forward to seeing them compete tonight. And as I talked about yesterday, we're getting the white on whites because we know what Tampa's wearing, so we know what we're wearing. And the last time we played Tampa, coincidentally enough, white on whites. We got it done. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't gritty, but it was gritty, and it was a dub. But that team didn't feature Tom Brady. That team didn't have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown and Scotty Miller and Gronk. And, you know, the list goes on and on and on. Ronald Jones. That team didn't have this kind of offensive firepower. As a matter of fact, I think that Buccaneers team may have scored one touchdown in that game. If I'm not mistaken. So this is not that, essentially. I like our chances, but as I told you, you know, it's really going to come down to how well we pressure Brady on the defensive side, and it needs to be early and often. And then really, you know, you got to think about what we're going to get out of the quarterback position. I talked about staying clean. It's hard to ask a young guy who hasn't started in a game of this magnitude, and again, hasn't started really any game of any importance in his NFL career. Taylor Heineke started a game in like week 16 of an NFL season in which the Panthers were already mathematically eliminated and weren't a good team at that point. And they were just trotting him out there to see what he had. And then he got injured in that game. Okay? So, I'm nervous because of what is behind him, not because of what he may do. But you do have, that's in the back of my mind. I mean, we don't know what, he could throw 3 touchdown passes, he could throw 3 interceptions. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, so that's kind of where I'm at with my mental state. But again, more likely than not, if we're going to win this game, it's going to be on the defensive side of the football. But if the offense turns it over, it can take the defense's performance and mitigate it and render them useless in this football game. If you're turning it over, there's only so much the defense can do. You got to help them in some regard. So we're going to see what happens. I'm excited about this opportunity. And as I stated already, you know, I can't wait until this is something that we're doing on a regular basis and we're not excited and nervous because we don't know when we're going to get another one of these opportunities and we're just happy to be here. You know, this week has been fun. I've enjoyed it. As you know, I've been screaming the champ is here all week. and so I told you I was going to have fun this week with this. And I have. And I don't want it to be over. to be honest with you. I'd like another week of this. This is great. I don't want it to end. You know, it's been this roller coaster ride from 1-5 to 2-7 to 5-7 to then, or 6-7, excuse me, to then 6-9, and then winning the division in week 17 at 7-9. It's been a roller coaster ride. We went up, we went down, we went around, but here we are. Home playoff game. Nobody giving us a chance. Why not us? That's been the mantra, right? Why not us? I talked about this when we had the week 13 game versus Pittsburgh. And I talked about changing the narrative. You know what the narrative is. Nobody thinks we're any good. I've talked about this already. Nobody thinks we belong here. Nobody thinks we're going to beat the Bucs. Nobody thinks that this team is good enough with our quarterback situation and with our record that we stand a chance. And if we're lucky, if this defense is good enough, maybe we'll keep it close. Maybe we'll keep it interesting, but no way we win. That's the consensus, is that this team, with all these parts on offense that aren't any good outside of Terry McLaurin, and he's banged up a little bit, and this quarterback situation with Alex Smith, and who knows what the hell Taylor Heineke is going to do, these guys are bums. That's the narrative. You're a joke. Okay, fine. We got a chance, just like we did in week 13 versus Pittsburgh, to change the narrative again. We're party crashers. I've accepted that role. Nobody wants us here in the dance. You know, when you watch all those Disney movies and there's a bully, what does that bully always do? They pick on the little guy. Oh, look at that person over there. Yeah, he's such a nerd. Look at him. Look at him. He's a clown. You know? And so we're at the dance, and we're off over here at our own little table. We're sitting down. We don't have any friends here. We got no family members here. Nobody likes us. Nobody thinks. Everybody else has a winning record. Everybody's looking at us like the outcasts. They're pointing at us and laughing. Look at these clowns. We may not be the best dressed. All right? And maybe we don't smell the best either. I don't know. But we're here, and we're ready to have a good time. So let's change the narrative. Nobody thinks we're supposed to be here. Nobody respects us. All right, well, let's crash the party then. I'm with it if y'all with it. We here, we might as well do some damage while we're here. So I feel good about this, man. I really do. I got a few more super chats. I want to take these before we get out of here, because that first game is about to start at 1:05, and I don't want to keep you here much longer than that. Extra Squaw says, need to take Steve Sims off of punts today. I'm just telling you right now, he's not going anywhere. And Ron already answered that during the week, and I talked about that on I want to say it was the Wednesday show. Ron was asked about Steven Sims on punts. He said, look, what do you want us to do? He's the best we got. He said, hey, Steven Sims is out there getting kicks from Kare Vedvik. After practice, he's taking extra kicks. We feel good about it. I told you, he's talented. But his focus isn't always where it needs to be when returning punts. And I've said, I'd love to take him off. What about Danny Johnson? Can't Danny Johnson return field punts? He's done it before. When Steven Sims was out, why can't you just put Danny Johnson back there? But obviously they feel more comfortable with Steven Sims back there. So if that's who, I've always said, if that's what Ron wants to do, I'm going to ride with Ron. I don't always agree. But I'm going to get in, I'm going to put my seatbelt on, and I'm going to ride. Today is the day Steven Sims does something to help win this game. I'm just telling you, I feel it. A lot of people have been trying to railroad him off this football team. You're going to see the impact of Steven Sims today, I believe. Ishmael Benitez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ishmael Benitez writes, Ron's confident, so am I. I told you, Ron's talked about these boys all week and how they've been out there practicing. They've been loose. They've been confident. And he loves the way that they've approached this week's game. I'm with it, man. Let's go get it. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Metaphor, greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, let's go MOBB. Remember, 11 times 4. And look, man, you already told us 44 for Washington today. That's crazy talk. But, hey, man. If you with it, I'm with it. The Martin family, thank you for the super chat. The Martin family, greatly appreciate you, who writes, haven't been able to catch the live stream since I was wrong about Dwayne, LOL. Let's get it today, brother. I'm a Skins fan etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskin spirit will never die. Redskin spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to the beloved Washington football team. Y'all already know what it is. I thank you guys for all the support. And let's do it, man. Let's do it today. No time like the present, right? Right. Just Andre. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Just Andre writes, playoff experience is invaluable for the young guys. Can't wait to win or lose. That's what I've been trying to convey to you guys all season long, that the ones, especially the ones in the what difference does it make if you got a losing record and go into the playoffs? You're just going to lose in the first game anyway. Crowd. I've been trying to convey that to them all season long, that this is about more than just, oh, we got a losing record, we need a draft pick, forget about the playoffs, we're not any good anyway, we can't win a Super Bowl. Isn't that supposed to be the goal? Yeah, but part of the process of achieving that goal is getting experience. We saw Josh Allen last year in the playoffs, in Wildcard weekend, doing stupid shit, lateraling the ball behind him in critical situation, almost fumbling it away with defenders tackling him. He wants to throw it backwards to nobody. We saw him throw up a prayer ball 50 yards down the field that almost got intercepted in overtime. Like, he needed to get that out of his system. He never played in playoff football before. He didn't know what that felt like. That experience he got last year in a loss to Houston, invaluable. It makes all the world difference between Josh Allen in the playoffs this year and last year. Had he never been last year and didn't get that experience, and this was his first time, he may be prone to doing some of the stupid shit we saw him do last year. It just matters that these guys feel what it's like to play in playoff football, feel the environment. Now, the fans aren't there. It's not going to be as electric as it would have been. But to feel that environment, to feel what it's like, win or go home, this is it. We had one of those games last week. Essentially, we've been in the playoffs for what feels like a month and a half, but we lost to the Panthers, so you can't really say that. Last week was a true playoff game. We win, we move on. We lose, we were done. So we know we got that feeling last week, but it's still not the same as this week. It's a lot different. So getting this experience is invaluable. You know, knowing what it feels like, and then having the expectation of saying, this is what we are supposed to do every year. We're supposed to be in the playoffs. This is where we belong. It's big. Like you said, it's invaluable. I believe I have another super chat, and I do. This one is from GearCell1. Thank you for the super chat, GearCell1. Greatly appreciate you. GearCell1 writes, I'm excited. Got my white corduroy boots on with matching flannel all white overalls. Let's go. Watch out with those corduroy boots. You could start a fire. Thank you for that super chat. I think we're all excited. And some of you, if you're the same people I've been talking to all season long, you're going to be lit by 8:15. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be having drinks. And by the time 8:15 rolls around, you might not be in any condition to comment on the game. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to it as well. Barrett down and my man BD, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Barrett writes, either way, Lou, I'm proud of how these guys fight. So let's do this and shake up the world. That's what I've been singing all year long. Is, you know, the one thing that we haven't been able to say in past years is we're gonna fight. You know, with Jay, you never knew what team was going to show up, and if we got down early, that usually spelled the end of the road for us. You know, we knew when we were going to get our asses whooped in a game with Jay Gruden as the head coach. If it got ugly early, you could go ahead and turn off your television set if you would like, because we weren't going to come back. The comebacks with Jay as head coach were few and far between, and generally, if someone jumped on us early, they had us. They took our heart, and that was it. This team, no such thing. You know, these boys don't quit. They fight to the finish. And that's what I'm expecting today. You know, for everybody that thinks we're going to get our asses whooped. And, I read some more comments yesterday, and people are like, oh, you barely got past the Eagles. So what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get beat by 1 million. Okay, we'll see about that. Obviously, you haven't been watching this all season long, so you have no idea about the heart and the resiliency of this football team. So, as BD has said already, whatever happens, I know these boys are going to fight, and they're going to make us proud. They're going to make us proud. They haven't embarrassed us not one time this season. I don't think they're going to start now. And it's just a different squad, you know, with guys like Chase Young on this team and Montez Sweat. It's just a different squad. It's a different group of guys, and they're built different. Mentally, physically, they're built different. And this team is different. Got another super chat. This one is from Keith Payne. Thank you for the super chat, Keith. Greatly appreciate you. My man Keith writes, thank you for your continuous grind, one of the few elites that follow the team, HTTWFT. Hey, I appreciate you, man, and all your contributions and all the time and energy that all of you guys have put into this channel and supporting the movement. It's been a grind all season long, and as I mentioned at the top of the show, it's been a roller coaster. You know, from 1-5 to 2-7 to 6-7 to 6-9, and then winning the division at 7-9. But every step of the way, I've been here, and so have you guys. And so for that, you guys deserve a big ups for that. All right. And somebody, I think, had I don't do this very often, so don't start inundating my my IG and my Twitter accounts with DMs for this. But somebody had hit me up on IG, and they had asked for a shout out for their husband. And I said, well, damn, she must really love her husband a lot. So if I can find it, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to shout him out. Let's see if I can find it. I'm terrible on these social media websites. I'm not going to lie to you. And it might be in my other one. Let's see. I don't even see it. I tried. I really did try. But I don't see the message anymore. Anyway, I think his name is Tom Sigyor. So, Tom Sigyor, your wife loves you. And she said you love this show. And so, by virtue of that, your family, and I love you as well. So, thank you for your support, Tom. And let's go get them today, man. Let's change the narrative. And let's beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right? Ron Rivera has said this 1 million times. And I'm going to say it one final time before we get out of here. Why not us? We here. We in the dance. We got our ticket. We got a chance. Why not us? Everybody's got O's next to their name now. 0-0. It's no longer 7-9 versus 11-5. It's 0-0 versus 0-0. Why not us? I'm going to see you guys later on. If you haven't already signed up for the MOBB, what are you waiting on? Go ahead, become a member so you can watch the game with us live in the community. MOBB, stand up. We in the building. I'll be live all day long, breaking down all of these games. We'll start with Colts and Bills. That's on tap in a minute from now. So I'll allow you to go get whatever beverages you need, any refreshments, and get in front of your television. We got a day full of football. Bart Scott! Can't wait. I'll see you guys at the finish. And hopefully we'll be talking about some really, really good things. And we'll be talking about more football for the Washington football team. We'll see what happens, but whatever does, we'll be here to break it all down here on the Louie T Network, live and in color. So, with that being said, let's change the narrative. Go football team. I'll see you guys a little bit later on. Have a good one.